Hi, welcome back to the channel. Well, what's the job for today? The new wing is narrower here. So this dimension on the outside here is too wide. Well, how we're gonna fix it? We're gonna remove both of these. We'll take them over to the lathe and I'll narrow them both up evenly to keep the center in the center. And we'll go through the whole process of doing that and put it back together. And I'm shooting for 3 inches right on. So we'll put it together after, we'll measure it up and we'll see how I did with my machining. It's one of those deals, the same as when you do anything like this. It's easy to take too much off, but it's hard to put it back on. So we have to go carefully and slowly and make sure we don't wreck these things, okay? Follow along and see how I make out. They fit in there pretty tight. They were hard to get out. They're not going to fall out and get lost somewhere if you have the wing off. At any rate, as I said, this is too wide because the new wing is a little bit narrower. So how am I going to fix this? Now, the wing manufacturer specified it should be 3 inches overall. And this is more than 3 inches. So now that I have these out, I can measure these across this way, but how wide is this tube? A little bit difficult to measure because it has these plates on the side, but luckily the micrometer will fit inside here. So just let me open this up a little bit first, and I can get it to fit in here, and then I can get a measurement. See, it just has enough to fit in, because I need to accurately measure this tube, because apparently it needs to be 3 inches was the spec, and it's going to be 3 inches. 75/87. So I have 1 inch, 5/75. Oh, it's a little wider here. Let me get this here. 75/81. Okay. 85, 86, 87. Okay, so 87. Okay, so I'm going to mark that down. Now, next step is let's measure the width of this. And we have and I'll just average this out. That would take 83. Okay, so this is 700. No, it was 73. Let me measure this again. I only get to wreck this once if I measure it wrong. So, all right. 50, 60, 70. Okay. Yep, there we go, 73. So there's 7, 25, 50 plus 20 is 73. So I'll record that dimension. So here's the dimension that we're shooting for, which is 3 inches overall width. Of course, this being the tube and these being the black inserts, and this is where I have to take the material off of this face and that face, so it's even in the middle. So 3 inches is what I'm after. I know that the center tube is 1 inch, 5/87. So let's do the math on it. So it's going to be 3 point minus 1.587 equals, so it's going to be, what's left over is 1413. And of course we have 2 of these, so I have to take half of that off of each one. So let's divide that by 2. Divided by 2 equals, divided by 2 is 7065. So that means that each one of these, when I measure it across, after I machine it, I'm looking, it's 773 right now, so 0.773 of an inch. I need to take it down to 0.7065. So I'll move over to the lathe and we'll make these narrower. And again, I better do it right. I can only wreck this once. So I'm using the small lathe in the shop, and I'm tightening it in, but not near as tight as I would a piece of steel because I don't want to squish it. And of course some tappy taps with a dead blow hammer to make sure it's seated fully, because I'll be measuring off the back edge that's against the chuck out to the machine surface. So let's confirm how much material we've taken off so far. Then I can calculate how much more that we need to take off. Now that I've taken this measurement, I'm going to stop where I am. It's a few thou thicker than I had planned. Just a little side-by-side comparison so you can see how much material I've taken off the left one compared to the original thickness one on the right hand. So here I am back from the lathe. I had them a little bit wider than I had planned because when I checked the math back through, because the decimal points go over so far, I can be out a few thou as it is. So figured they're a good fit, aren't they? Not going to lose those in the field in the grass anywhere. Now I'm not sure how precise this 3 inches is supposed to be for this wing that's going to go on here, and where did I end up at? Well, isn't that something? I left actually, for 7, 10, 6 thou on each one, so I'm actually at 12. So if I had to took the 6 off each one, that'd be perfect. So again, I don't know how precise the width is, but they specified it's going to be 3 inches, so I'm going to take those out again, and I'll take a couple of thou off each one and put it back in and fit it up because I want it to be perfect. I've returned again and refitted these. If my math was right, it would be right on 3. Right on 3. So gotta like it. Check it with the micrometer. And see what we have with the micrometer. Oh yeah. Right on 3. So that's what I was looking for. Took a little longer to do it, but it's right. If you enjoyed the video today, thanks for tuning in. It's always nice to go and use the machines and actually make things and make them fit exactly. I enjoy that kind of stuff. So it was a pleasure for me. Hopefully you enjoyed this. like, share, subscribe, all those other things. Thanks. Bye now.